Man, dude, this hatch. See if I can remember how to fucking open it.
What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to that Honda channel.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream gets the money. Dollar bill, yo.
I grew up on the crime side, the New York Times.
I just had an Acura Legend like a couple months ago. I just picked up another GS sedan, automatic, but still factory Premier radio setup. Has the changer in the trunk, or not factory, but you know it's the one you could get back in the day. The Bose system. It is the GS because this one has the power thing on the side of the steering wheel, so you can move it up and down or whatever. It had the heated mirrors, so sunroof. It's a K7, boys, and it came with a bunch of extra wheels and a whole bunch of parts and all sorts of stuff. Head gasket kit, 175 bucks. It's really clean title, nice car. See, it's the Bose system. I had the L sedan that I just had, and I got rid of it, and you know, I traded that for a BMW in cash, and I got a really good deal. Park. Anyway, this thing's already tinted in the back, like 50% or 35 or something like that, but pretty clean. So, here, guys, the new build. Old school wheels. I don't know, those are like Cavani's or something like that. I have all four. They don't look that bad. Does have tint, not super dark, but it's there. This is the cover thing, lip, factory lip. It had fog lights, I think, but they look like they got taken out. So, yep. For Acura Legend, it has the paperwork from Amco Transmissions, 3,400 bucks for the transmission in here. The receipt's in there, so it's got a brand new transmission at 159,000. Right now it's what, at 170, 180. So it's got a long way before that transmission goes out again. It's automatic, but you can't complain. It is a GS sedan, so you know it's got the electric button on the steering wheel to move it up and down. Has the factory Bose sound system, so it has the radio and then the Bose speakers. What else? Oh yeah, and it has one of those, it's aftermarket, but it's the legit way they put it in. The Premier 6 CD disc changer in the trunk. And the remote, so the control is here in front of the radio, and then they also have the remote for it, which is pretty unbelievable. So that's really cool. So it has aftermarket wheels. Like, they kind of want to be like Type S wheels, but I know I didn't YouTube the other Legend I had, but I had one a little bit ago. I put Prime 5-spoke wheels. They look like Type S wheels. I'll put a picture of it here. And then this one has like the kind of want to be like those ones. So yeah, anyway, this is the car. So we're gonna get home and you know, it needs a head gasket and water pump and stuff, but the guy gave us all the parts and we only paid 175 bucks. So we got about 8 hours of work on it, right? And then yeah, it'll be on the road, so stay tuned. An automatic 90 to 93 Accord axle here, and we knocked off the, let's see, yeah, so we knocked this side off, so that is the transmission, so that's the Del Sol, whatever you call it, input, or the this one goes into the transmission, and then this is actually the Accord intermediate shaft, and then that's the Accord one here, but we knocked it off. We just knocked it off, and then took this off with it, and then we also knocked the front one off the Accord, as you can see. But we're trying to get the front one off of these EG axles, so we can put it on there, because I think the Accord axle is just long enough. But then I have another axle in here. We tried both Honda Civic EG or Del Sol axles, and we can't knock the ends off. But we watched a video where the guy knocked off the EK axle end without a problem. So we're thinking it's an EG and EK, so we know the axles are pretty same, but I think the inside pin itself is like different or something, or maybe they're not supposed to get knocked off like the inside ones. Not sure how it works. We're going to go to the junkyard and see if we can knock one off, because that's all we need. So, yeah. Oh, also, we just picked up this Legend yesterday for 175 bucks. Stupid low miles, clean title. Got to do both head gaskets and then the water pump, but not bad. Honestly, it doesn't need the head gaskets, but we're already in here, so we're going to do it. But, yeah. So, I'll wait for my dad to pick me up, take me to the junkyard. I already got all the tools. So, essentially, all you need to do is take an axle, 32 millimeter nut with the big wrench thing. I think 3/4, the bigger one. And then probably a cheater pipe to put on that to break the axle nut loose. You're going to need a 17, a 19, actually two 17s because you'll want to break that suspension bolt loose. A 19 maybe to take a wheel off if you're doing that. 12, a flathead. Why is my camera doing that? It's like lagging. Anyway, and then you'll maybe like a little crowbar or a decent sized screwdriver to pop it out of the transmission. But it's pretty easy to do. We'll do it at the junkyard and I'll show you guys how to do it on video, but not a big deal. We're trying to build the Del Sol today. Honestly, if we get this piece, the Del Sol might move under its own power. So obviously I replaced the transmission, or not the transmission, the engine oil pan. I can't talk today. I replaced the oil pan. It runs. The headers are off. The full headers aren't supposed to be here until like July 8th or 9th. So I might not drive this up to Bend, but I don't know. I might go open header because OG. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. So I'll show you guys when I get to the junkyard. The junkyard, there's two V6 Accords here with the same wings. Just thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, we're here at the yard looking for the EK axle. We just really need the inside hub, or the, is it squished back there? We need the part, we basically need like the very end of the axle itself. And yeah, it's kind of weird swap we're doing, but we gotta find the part. We'll get back to you. I found somebody's SS Trailblazer hatch here in the yard. I'm gonna text them and be like, hey, I found part of your truck. So we got the EK, basically what I'm driving right now, driver's side end of the axle. So imagine the axle. You got the center, or the centerpiece, which is like the rod, and then you got the end that goes in the transmission, and then the end that goes in the spindle. So we got that end piece that goes in the spindle, and we're gonna stick that on a 1990 to 1993 Honda Accord automatic axle, and that's gonna fit right on because we already stuck the Del Sol end that goes in the transmission on that axle, and it's exactly the length we need. So we're gonna see, hopefully that works, and hopefully the Del Sol will move under its own power today. So we'll let you know. Holy crap, that was a lot of dust that just kicked up. Yeah, I'm also gonna go get some Machida teriyaki here in Woodburn. Not sponsored, but man, I've been eating there for years. I love it. A little more out of hand than we thought. So we took those with the balls out in the inside. So that's from the EK. This is from the Accord. And basically that's from the EK, but that doesn't fit the inside of this. So we took that from the Accord, and we're trying to figure out how to get this in here. We might have to grind this down to make it fit, but we'll get it to work, maybe. We're doing some crazy stuff we've never attempted before here. Even in this garage, we've done quite a bit of crazy stuff, but this is a pretty crazy one. So we took the axle completely apart. We took the joint completely apart. I'm grabbing the grinder wheel thing right now, this deal. Excuse me, but I need that cable, sir. Oh! I broke an alternator. Alright, let's just go take this over here. So, these are completely disassembled. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind. So that's the one from the EK, but we're going to completely grind this down because we need the hub, that one, of the EK, and that Accord one doesn't fit because the splines are bigger, but we need the inside. That's the EK. We need the inside of that one to fit the Accord immediate shaft. So we're going to grind it down with this. Doing some crazy stuff, huh? Okay, so to make the difference work here, so this is the Civic one, EK. That's the Accord one. So essentially, the Accord, you can see the center of that one's bigger than this. We need this one to fit that shaft, but we need this hub part. So what we're going to do is, this is a little bit bigger in each and every way, except for how thick this part is, for where the balls go. Maybe barely, but we're gonna grind this down on each of these sides to make it about as small as this, and then see if we can fit it inside of the that piece, but in the EK part, and then put the EK balls in there. I've never seen anybody do this that works on Hondas. Honestly, I've never seen it, but we're gonna try it. Oh, rest in peace, man. You were a good actor. Anyway, so what I did here, it's a little hot still. So I grinded so it kind of looked like this side. So this looked like this at one point, but I already grinded down this. It's a little rough, but I mean, I'm no machinist by any means, but you know, it's pretty flat with it. And then I just measured them like this, from length to length, like the highest and highest on each of them, like that, you know. And so the closer one to 2 is the Civic one, the size, and then the Accord one is that, the farther one. So I'm gonna have to grind out like half of that on each, like literally half of this, because you got to think you're gonna have half of that gone over there too. So I barely got to grind. Like honestly, this might, even if we squished it with like a hammer or something, I bet you would go in. But I'm gonna do it as close as I can. I'm gonna just barely grind each one of these, like I don't know, a second, and then I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna go on each one. I'm just gonna let it go like. I'll explain it. Do the next one. I'm gonna keep going right until it fits, but I think it's gonna maybe need like 2 brushes over it. So yeah, guys. So that's from an Accord. That's from the Civic. Super crazy cool thing we're doing here. So let me explain. So like, this is from the Accord, right? And so we took it out and see all the spots where the balls go. Those kind of hold the balls, and then these little sleeve things. That's from the Accord, but the Civic one is over here somewhere. But yeah, it's super crazy how we're doing this. I've never seen another swap channel or anything, because we're literally swapping the ends of these axles, like going kind of crazy. So anyway, yeah, I only paid $5 for this. Alright guys, anyway, let's see how I did here. So here's the one from a Civic, here's the one from a Accord, so I obviously grinded it down flat, like that, okay, so that matches. Because the other one used to look like this, it used to have little crowns on it. So I cut the sides, or the front tops, so I cut the tops, and then I cut the sides now on every single one. As you can see, I cut them, and this is what they used to look like. So that was the Civic one, that's how we needed it, the closer one to 2. And then that other one was where it was at 2. So now, you want to hold the phone for me? We're going to measure it. You want to go close in here? And go very close. And now, we're still pretty much right at the spot where we need to be. So I'll probably have to do a little more grinding, but that's essentially how it goes. So I just kind of need to grind the sides down a little bit more. But it's right there. I think we'll get it in. So, give me 2 more seconds. We're making micro history, so essentially this is the one from EK hatch Civic. So we're using an Accord immediate shaft, right, and the Civic end, and so we're putting, so basically this is the one from a Civic, right, but we needed the one with the bigger splines to fit the axle from that. So we took the Accord one from this apart, the front part, and took it apart, took all the pieces inside, and I grinded the one from the Accord of this down, and we put it inside the circle collar, that collar of that and there, and so this is matched with that for the Civic. So the one we're using is Civic from that, and the Accord from this, but I grinded it down to fit. And then we're putting the Civic ball bearings back in, and then using that one, and then we're going to put that right on that, and then hopefully the Del Sol will have an axle. I had to cut, basically, here's the Accord one, here's the Civic one, alright? So I had to cut this part on the Accord to go down, because it was sticking up, just like how these are, in a crown. And then this one, you can see where I grinded it down, okay? And then I also had to grind them not only from this way, I had to make them shorter this way. So I had to grind this whole spot right here on each and every one of these. And then we put it in, it didn't fit. This part is skinnier on the inside. This part where the ball goes in here in the groove. And so I just grinded each and every one of these straight as I could, or as curved as I could, I guess you could say, and as smooth. And I'm going to put it in, and now hopefully we should have our, the reason we did this is because this Civic spline is smaller than the Accord spline. So now the Accord one fits right on our Accord axle shaft, and then we're also going to be able to use our Civic, or our Del Sol connector, so that's pretty cool. So let me get it all put together here. Part to get this to fit into the EK collar, and then get this one. This from the, or this is the EK one. Here's the Accord one. I need to cut the centers just a little more on each one, and then it's all, man, I got 3 of the balls in there when I put it in this, and I just, I'm so close. I'm so close. So as soon as I get that, I think I'm gonna be ready, or sorry, not that, that's an Accord one. Into this one, this EK, EG one. And I'm so close to getting it in there, so I think I need to cut a little bit more on the centers on each of one. And then as soon as I get all 6 balls in there, I'm ready to try and throw the axle on the car. So let me get back to you guys. Guys, after like an hour and a half grinding, so that was the EK one. This is an EK big piece, and then so this is going to go on the Del Sol spindle. That is an Accord center part. That's an Accord intermediate shaft. That's the Del Sol one for the transmission. Fits right on. The only thing I had to do is, so when I took the Accord end off of that, we went and had to get this from the yard in EK, because you can't knock off the EG ones. You just take a hammer and knock it off. But now that I grinded down that star thing to basically be like that, and got all the balls in there, I finally had to keep grinding it down for hours and hours, like an hour and a half to 2 hours I've been working on this. And now EK goes on the Accord, and it works pretty good. So I'm gonna hit this on with the hammer. I'm gonna go see if it fits the Del Sol. Wish me luck, guys. Your brother just made history. You know what that means?
No.
So let me explain it to you. This is the first F2D Del Sol in this configuration using stock mounts. Like, this is the only Del Sol in the world that has an F-Series transmission, or a F-Series engine with a D-Series original transmission to this car. Now, not saying it's the only F2D Del Sol, but it's only F2D Del Sol that use stock mounts, moved the whole engine over with spacers, and I'm not using any kind of Hasport mounts. They're all custom made here at home. I'm just using the original ones and modifying them so they're custom made. I mean, that's a bracket to the motor from a 93 Accord wagon or 90 Accord wagon. Okay. And so it's a 90 Accord shaft. This is all here. This is all in. It's all connected. So as I get the bottom bolt and put the pin in it, the car should move under its own power. I'm really shaky because I've been thinking about doing this kind of, I think my buddy's here. I've been thinking about doing this kind of swap for years, and it's finally here. It's ready. It's done. I'm shaking right now. I'm so excited. Well, I can't wait to tell my buddy. I didn't know he was coming over. I guess it's a surprise.
Okay. Start this all over again.
Here, Rosie, give me a minute. Nathan, guys, he came to say hi. So I just got the wheel on. I need to tighten it real quick. The axle's on. I have everything semi-bolted up just to take it around the block. Don't take it to Cali yet. The radiator's not on. We just looped it, but we're gonna go take it around the block.
I gotta get some motor mounts. Now I gotta get all this.
All right, guys, it's on the ground. I took all the crap out of it. I'm gonna go get the key. We're gonna start it up, take it around the block. So excited. Oh man. But yeah, if you guys want to know how I did it, I literally can put an entire parts list up there. I'm posting on HondaTech.com. My thing is that Honda Chan with 2 N's. Because I couldn't put the channel. That Honda Chan with 2 N's. Or I'll post a link. I think that's what it is. But I just been posting it. I don't have any follows or, however that works. I barely even post there. That's a very old, forum thing. But, yeah, guys. Runs and drives. So, stay tuned. F2D Del Sol, I might drive it up to Bend in a couple days. But I got a lot more to do. I might, honestly, because the headers aren't supposed to be here till, like, July 10th or something. But I really want to take it up to Bend. Essentially, it's open Accord, like, aftermarket headers. And then I have those 2 connectors of the downpipe, and then it's cut off like an inch after those connectors. So I'm thinking is go get a Y pipe and then connect it to one, and then get one of those flexi pipes and run it back up out of the hood, or like start going towards back up out of the hood. And I was going to take that huge Acura Legend muffler I have, cut it to where it barely has anything there, and I was going to clamp it because I had the Acura Legend, I took it off and it sounded straight piped, and that's a very big muffler, so I think it'd muffle all the sound, so I don't think it'd be very loud. And then I could test it here because it's so loud. It's open header, cam race car sound, and it's so loud, and I can't really test it like that here. So tomorrow hopefully I can put insurance on it, hopefully get that muffler thing done. But thanks for watching. I'll show you guys that muffler thing tomorrow if I do it, so I can at least drive it to Bend, and then on the 10th I'll hook up the full exhaust with the Snobby Concept RR and get it done. So hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate support. I'm making moves out here. It's like I'm the only F2D anything probably for a good couple hundred miles. Like, I've never seen that. I've never heard of it until the guy told me about it. He's like, well, since you know about it, I'd be willing to make you a deal. I bought that plate for $200 with the flywheel and the Evolution post mount, which I still have. I didn't use the post mount. It didn't fit. I tried to make it fit, but it made more sense to use a stock mount. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. F2D Del Sol running and driving under its own power today. Super cool how I did that axle. I've never seen anybody open that, and I've been in the Honda game for a bit. Same with my dad. Anyway, it's really cool. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. And the Del Sol on the actual road this time. Before, I just took it around the park here where I live. So I'm gonna actually go take it on the road now and see if room's okay. It's open header, but I'm gonna basically put that big muffler right there, the huge one off a Legend, not this Legend, another Legend I had, that muffler right there. And then I'm gonna put it on the front of this car, like on the front. And then I'm just going to connect it to the headers. Probably quieten it up quite a bit. Because when I took it off the other Legend, it literally sounded like it was straight piped. So that's probably going to help. So, alright, let's get on the road. It's very loud. It idles up and down pretty bad because, you know, Accord and idle control valves are not very fun. It held all the water. It didn't drip any water. It did drip oil. The valve cover's leaking, and I think the cam seal on the timing belt side is leaking. I'll just use silicone, get that fixed. The alternator is hitting the body or the frame right here. So I'm gonna take it off and hit the frame and then bend out the spot it's hitting, because any movement at all with these mounts, the stock mount, so it's twisting. And then I actually forgot to tighten the axle nut, so it was shaking really bad, and I got disappointed and went in the house and ate food because I haven't eaten the whole day, and it's already 3 p.m. So I've been working on it since like 11 or 12. So anyway, I'm gonna fix all this stuff and then I'll get back to you guys. Runs pretty good. I barely put the gas in second gear, and it was at like 4,000 RPMs and just started spinning the tire, so it's pretty happy. I'm excited to see what it does. Yes, you wouldn't believe it. So today's the day right before we're going to go up to Sisters tomorrow. And so I took this on test drive, went horribly wrong. The alternator was hitting the body here because it would shake like this and it would hit. The thing would hit on here. And so I smacked it out with the hammer, as you can see. You actually see a little gap there now. And I painted it so it just won't rust over if it ever does. I actually got the radiator hooked up. I got an adapter, so now I have radiator. Everything hooked up. Doesn't leak any water, surprisingly. But the only other problem I have now is that it's leaking oil from, I think, the valve cover. Not sure, but I think it is. And it's very loud because it's basically open right there at the end. But you wouldn't believe it. I'm like on the fence a couple minutes ago, like if I should take it or not. And my headers just got here, so I don't know. I'm gonna open them. I don't know if I'm gonna take it or not. I might take it.
Very cold.
Very, very good. And then the Acura Legend water pump is in, so it needs to be put back together. Brand new water pump and a Legend. No problem. 2 hours? Yeah. So anyway, I might put the headers on them. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to open them real quick. Actually, let's open them. Honestly, I wasn't going to take it to Sisters/Bend. And you know what? After we got that truck and then I got home and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the headers actually got here literally 10 days or so before they were even supposed to be here. So that is freaking awesome. And I'm hooking them up right now. Only way I'm going to be able to do is use this stuff and clamp it, which is fine for testing, because I just need to go and make sure I get it right tonight because it's leaking oil still, and I think it's from the valve cover. Not sure, positive. Kind of worried it's coming from the crank seal on this side. It's not over here. It's definitely over here, so I hope it's not that bottom crank seal. Otherwise I'd have to pull the motor back out. There's no room to do it between this. I'm gonna do, I think it's the valve cover, hopefully. So I'm gonna figure it out, but yeah, let me hook the exhaust up so at least I can go test it. The mid pipe and everything, silicone, the valve cover, so I don't think it's going to leak oil anymore, although I'm going to go into the car with a flashlight and make sure that's what it was. And then I need to hit the nut here so it doesn't slip, but I tightened it very, very strong, so I don't think it's going anywhere anyway. Everything else is hooked up. I think I need a hose for that, but I was driving earlier without it. So I'm going to put the car back down on the ground. I'm going to go take it for a test drive. Wish me luck, guys, because this is going to be a 2.5 hour drive tomorrow in summer heat, and this is the first real drive of the car. I mean, I had the car on for maybe 20 minutes on a mini drive to the park that's 5 minutes next to me. I just let it be on, and it was open header, so I didn't hear any noises. And now it's closed up, and it should run pretty all right. So I'm gonna go take it on a test drive. You know, wish me luck, guys, because hopefully I can drive it up to Bend tomorrow. We'll see. Doesn't want to behave and idle right. Has so much torque. Has a lot of torque. A lot of torque. I'm really happy with how that feels. I barely just started pushing on the gas and it started putting me in my seat. I'm just, man, F2D del Sol. The exhaust note is totally different than the Z6 in here. I just got to let it warm up, and I really got to try the car before I drive it 2.5 hours. So we're pretty good over here, honestly. Just getting up the temperature, just letting it kind of run. Trying to see how I can fix that idle, but not bad, not bad. crazy. That's a nutty two-step. Look at this. Not bad. I mean, I just got these headers on there and they already started to kind of turn gold. I don't think it's leaking either. Okay, it's leaking barely, but I think it's leaking from the cam seal. I think it's still drivable, honestly. That's a lot of fun to drive. And the speedometer works too. The RPM works. This is on a Z6 Dizzy. RPM works. Miles per hour work. The gas gauge obviously still works. I didn't play with that. The heater is working, the temperature, and I don't have a thermostat, so that's about right. See if the heater still works. Oh, look at that. The heater still works. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna drive it down the road a little bit, see if I can set the phone up here so you guys can watch me. Or maybe I'll just put it here in the window. Hopefully I think it's gonna start flying out of the thing because it's got torque now, so it's gonna kind of push the car. But I think I get it. This guy in the truck over here is looking at me like, what the hell? How am I gonna put this here? It's gonna be kind of awkward to put my phone in here. All right, but you guys are kind of in the mirror. Let me see if I can do this. There you go. I mean, it's in the mirror. It's not right, but it might work. Hold on. It's gonna probably fly and fall off, honestly. What if I go this way? No, that's not gonna work either. I don't know, but maybe in the back seat, head resting. Oh no, that's not gonna work. I don't know. I gotta get a GoPro for a chest cam or something like that. But all right, I'm gonna get on the road. You guys can listen to me though. I'm just gonna kind of get on the back of the road and because it runs. If I turn it off, probably turn it back on. Let's actually try that. I'm gonna turn it off and turn it on. Off. Right back on. Cool. Very cool. All right, let's try and get back on the road here. I don't want to beat on it too much because, I mean, I probably should if I'm going to drive hella far tomorrow. I would make sure I can drive it. And the car is not very low either. I wonder if I can put the silencer in it so it's not as gay when it revs up and down. The whole car shakes when it does that though. It's like muscle cars. All right, I'm gonna pull off here. Has so much torque though. Holy shit. Got a lot of freaking torque bottom end. Holy cow. That's insane. Headers or whatever, Amazon, eBay headers work pretty great. You know, they're 60 bucks. They actually came 10 days earlier than they were supposed to. Just took the car for a rip. It has so much torque in comparison to the stock motor. I ripped on it, almost shat my pants. It was really cool. It was so much work to get it in there, but you know, I'm so happy to be able to kind of just like not like to be able to just kind of push the gas and have it like rev up and go and not like, you know, it had a D16 Z6 and a Del Sol, the stock motor, and now it's like, it's happy, you know, it's got torque now. As far as horsepower, you know, these don't make a whole lot, but you know, getting it tuned, dyno tuned soon, you know, with the S300 or the V3 S300, would be great. You know, it's the Bluetooth one, so I can check my phone and all that stuff. I know it's not 100%. You know, that was the first real test drive. I took it around the park yesterday, or this house park yesterday. Then I drove it to the actual park today across the thing, and it was so beyond messed up. I was really upset and just didn't even want to look at it. And then I got back, ate some food, thought about it, started working on the car again. You know, calm down. And you know, now it's a thing. It's running, and I drove it. I really need to fix that thing. The idle control valve is blocked. The fast idle is not even on there. It's like blocked off. This is blocked off. I'm running a completely different thing instead of that connector deal, and I'm running it straight to the radiator. Block that off. And it's idling up and down still. Not sure what that is. It is connected to the Honda. I don't know if I can disable the eye control valve because I did that, but it's still revving, and I'm not sure. I really am not. And when I, you know, put the gas, it revs up and down like that the whole time. So it starts shaking the whole car, and it's really hard to drive. So, it's drivable? Yes. Do I want to drive it? Yeah, honestly. Is it easy to drive? No, because you got to be on and off with the clutch, since the idle thing is revving up, down, down. So if you let off the gas, all of a sudden the car will be smooth, slowing down, and it'll start shaking when it gets to that spot. But, you know, that was pretty cool. Man, this thing drives. I drove with F2D Del Sol, guys. That just made my night. That made my year, honestly. I've been looking forward to this, and it's done. Well, it's not done. There's a lot to do. But, I mean, you can literally see. So this wire, for some reason, on the starter, the big one, right there, this one, for some reason, it wasn't getting a good connection. And I wired this to straight. So this is a clamp, and then it's just to a straight bare wire, and I screwed it in there, and it started up right fine. And it's just been sitting there clicking for the past couple days. I'm like, come on, is my battery dead? Blah, 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 blah. I replaced a bunch of stuff. Well, not replaced, but I changed a few things from my parts bin over here. And, you know, got it to work. Anyway, that's all it was. So that was for testing purposes. I'll just run another wire to it. But yeah, no, it runs, and it's really peppy. I'm, like, shaking. I'm like, you know, it's, man, that's so cool. I got back from the test drive, and I was so happy. But, you know, when I let off one time, the motor shook, and this kind of came down. I did hit that. Most of this here is from me hitting it. But it barely touched, and I saw a spark fly up. But I'm not just pulling over. I know what it is, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's really cool. I just filled the water up. Yeah, guys, I don't know. It's kind of done. I just, you know, I'm really just going to need to take my time and put the rest of it together now. I'll probably take the mount off here and then make a solid mount out of it. Same with the T-bracket and the side mount over here, the transmission one. I'll probably just all end up, you know, welding plates onto them and make them solid mounts. I will need to fix the motor lean because it's a little bit leaned this way. I'm not keep it fixing the lean. That's, you know, how they usually H and F series, they lean back. Not fixing that. I like it because, you know, it's going to hook harder because it's more tipped over the front wheels, etc. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, it's better for drag racing and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just going to go race my friends, have fun with it. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I can't believe it really drove today. Oh, that is just so awesome. Anyway, I'm just so happy with the torque. And the way I did the axle, I used an Accord center and then a Del Sol inside for the transmission, and then the outer was an EK, and I had to completely shave the star inside for the bearing, and it was a mess, but I can show you guys how to do it if you guys are looking for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Later.
Coking, rockin', chopping off a private, going on shopping sprees. Glock in my back pocket, already cocked, okay, I'm clocking cheese. Strap jump off the hinges in the trenches, all the alleyways. Had to say, each and every day we grabbing paper.